Hey guys, it's Disco Spider, and I was never that big of a fan of Peanuts. I used to watch them as a kid, and I remember I did read a few of their comics, but the only ones that I can truly remember is the Great Pumpkin special. But this movie does make me want to check out more of the Charlie Brown specials and read up on a few of the comics. So the plot of the movie is that a new girl moves in across the street, and Charlie Brown tries to impress her before she finds out how much of a loser he is. The plot does have its flaws by having a ton of cliches, but it is still fun and uses the fact that it's with the Peanuts characters to its advantage. A lot of times this movie would reference something from one of the specials or the comics, like a character being in love with another character, or referencing the Great Pumpkin from that one special. And for any person who hasn't seen a special in a long time, would be like, oh right, that was from one of the specials or a comic. And anyone who is a big fan of Charlie Brown would feel right at home, since it would just be right up their alley. But for anyone who has never seen a Charlie Brown special, they would be confused for the first part of the movie, since like the first scene of the movie has like giant introduction of all the characters and the characters liking other people, like Charlie Brown's sister liking Linus and calling him Sweet Babu. All those references are in there, and they do get callbacks at the later half of the movie, so any person who has never seen or read a comic or a special would know what's going on. And as for the characters, the only one that really does something is Charlie Brown and Snoopy. Of course, they're the main characters in the movie because it is their movie, but the other characters like Linus, Pigpen, and all the other kids from the other specials, they barely have anything to do with this movie. The only time that there actually has something to do is just to reference something from the comics or the specials or something like that. They are still fun, and they don't feel like wasted character, or they could have easily have a plot for this movie, since this movie really focuses on Charlie Brown. But the movie is supposed to be for Charlie Brown, and it does work. And speaking of Charlie Brown, he is a very well developed character. He's one of those typical losers who always seems to fail. You know, like when he tries to fly a kite, it always goes the opposite way you want to. And we can all relate to that, although not everyone is a loser, but we've all had those times where something didn't go in our favors, and we kind of were embarrassed. And as for the Snoopy segments in this movie, they're pretty boring. It's so obvious that it's supposed to be filler. All the segments with Snoopy with the Red Baron barely have anything to do with the main plot. But I've heard that it was like from a special or a comic or anything, but it barely has anything to tie in with the Charlie Brown plot in this movie. And it just feels like filler. It could have easily been, a 22-minute special for like the DVD, or maybe for ABC. They could have done that instead of just this movie. But maybe the movie was like 60-ish minutes long, and they needed just to reach the 90-minute mark, so they just added Snoopy segments. And of course, the big elephant in the room, the animation. I actually really love the animation in the movie. It feels a lot like the style of Charles Schultz, the person who drew for the Peanuts. Yes, it is CGI, but it really does look like a 2D film. In fact, I think it looks even better than if it was hand-drawn, since the characters do have some depth. They do look 2D, but sometimes when they move their face and stuff, they do act like 3D characters. And even, in fact, there's a few, actually I think all the characters that have hand-drawn style to them, like when they fall down, there's like dust marks that are hand-drawn, or sometimes the face kind of looks like it was hand-drawn, it was just overplaced of a CGI model, which I think looks pretty cool. And as for the short that played before the Peanuts movie, which starred Scrat from Ice Age, I thought it was boring. Yeah. So yeah, I do like this movie, although there are some flaws. I would definitely recommend this to any Peanuts fan out there, but if you are not a Peanuts fan, I just say stick with the original classic specials. So yeah, I'm the Disco Spider, and got a blast.